It's your boy J Baby, Mr. Major Man, Mr. 504 Jeezy from the Big Easy Hitter, welcome y'all back to another discussion video, man. Man, I'm probably about 4 or 5 videos behind, but you know what? I got all the time in the world right now to really just consciously take my time, reflect on a few things before I just get on this camera and start rambling. But before I get into the topic in hand, I'd like y'all to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell and also follow me on all my social media platforms, which will be linked in the description below. And yes, let's just go ahead and get into the topic. The topic of discussion is, why are we doing this? What is the end game? What is the goal? What is the reason for you even turning on that little red button that's usually on this camera? What is my reason for even doing this for the most part? But and I also want to first and foremost say thank you, Tristan, for always sparking off those conscious discussions that you so blesses of us on, because a lot of times he's the reason that we even having these conversations from the start. Now, shouts out to also Bobby Sneakers World for this too. But he hit the nail on the head about a lot of things as far as why do we do this? And I'm gonna just be one of those people that say this first and foremost, and I deeply appreciate Tristan, Shoes Up Sleeves Down, and also Bobby Sneaker World, JJ All Day, me and my kicks, he got kicks, 313 Retro, all a whole lot of other YouTubers that actually give credit where credit is due. Whenever an idea or something pops up or whatever the case may be, they always show love, recognition, and always give acknowledgement and basically give me your roses while you're here. And I also discussed it before. I said there was a time where, like I said, I could have been closed this whole YouTube thing up and just went on about my business. Like, what kept me in the game? YouTube is not what got me into sneakers. Sneakers actually got me into YouTube. That was the difference. And like I said before, like a lot of people don't realize, a lot of your favorite YouTubers, I actually had more subscribers than them at one time. Like I said, and if it was about being envious or hateful or spiteful, I could have been just throwing shit on people's name or whatever the case may be. But that's not in me. That's not my heart. Like I said, I do this for the genuine love of the game, just to do it. And let me see what else it was. Why is my channel probably moving slower than most people that started in 2015, 2014, around that time I started? I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. It's by design. It's by design for me to be a smaller content creator, because one, it has nothing to do with my lack of networking ability. It has nothing to do with the content I provide or anything of that matter. It's by design. And the reason it's by design, because I can honestly say a lot of YouTubers who were underneath me, and trust me, this is not no shots fired, they branched off and they made their connection with what they had to make with. Like I said, I do have connections too, but at the same time, I like to organically do my thing. It's not about me constantly trying to ride the coattails of somebody else, because that's never what my channel was about. That, like I said, if that was the case, I could legit be at a 5,000 subscriber right now, probably more. Matter of fact, I probably could have had that back then, because a lot of the bigger YouTubers now, they were smaller back then. They were easily accessible for me to jump on that and ride that wave, but that's not what I'm about. Like I said, and if I really wanted to, I could have done a lot of those things. I'm not trying to do a lot of those things, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby. I never want my hobby to feel like work. And if it feels like work, then I'm going to be looking for compensation from it. And like I said, I'm not forcing people to digest my content. That's never what I'm trying. That was never part of the plan. It is about me putting the content out and people want to digest it on their own, be announced. They want to do it. Not because I'm forcing them. I'm never about forcing somebody to take my content. And I get exhausted from like a overload of content. So I'm definitely not one of those people that be like, oh well, they looked at this one, they should be looking at my. No, nah, that's not how this works. But like I said, man, I'm just trying to give you the most authentic product that I could possibly give out on this platform. But I kind of feel like what people are feeling when it comes to this ShoeTube thing. And I'm gonna just be real about it. I'm about to say the product has been watered down for a long time. I want to say probably going 2015 to 2016. The game has been just diluted, and the reason it's getting diluted because everybody is pretty much doing reviews and on the same thing. Like, how many of your favorite YouTubers are doing the Core Purples? Like, this is how deep into the game I go with it. I remember when YouTube was, you probably had 3 different YouTubers had one shoe, then the following week another 3 had a different shoe, because at that time everybody was not able to get every shoe. But now that it's pretty much like everybody's getting the same thing, like the Core Purples, like everybody had those damn shoes early. So by the time you would have did a review on them the day of the release or a few days after, it's pointless to even do the review. And then it's hard to even like really do a review and have a true unskewered opinion about it. Like me right now, I'm probably sitting on years worth of shoes right now that I could probably bring out now and really have like a really true honest opinion on it, because I won't be skewered, because there's not an oversaturation of videos or anything that came out during that release or that time frame. That's why a lot of times I do like doing shoes that people aren't talking about. That's why I like bringing up certain topics in discussion that other people are talking about, because nothing is original no more. Like, even during this whole quarantine thing, like nothing as far as like content is concerned, nothing is really original anymore, because everybody's kind of doing the same thing. Everybody's following the same way. Everybody's doing the same pattern of content creating. But it's a hell of a gift when you could just grab something out the sky and like be able to just flourish it and make something into nothing. I mean, nothing into something for the most part. But like I said, man, it's just a cluster of things that play into at least in sneaker YouTube, because there are so many different sectors of YouTube that like I haven't even been fully looking at sneaker YouTube. I've been looking at more cooking videos for the most part, because I'm trying to brush up more on my cooking ability. I can already cook, but there's always certain aspects that you can always bring in. Like, I'm doing something to improve my time and myself as far as one of my other crafts is concerned. But as far as me concerned, like I said, I really got into the sneaker game got back into the sneaker game because, like I said, in the previous comment, I said because I went through a very, very hard depression, like from 2007 to almost 2012, around that time. And like, I'm gonna just be all the way real with y'all. This quarantine thing, this is like a walk in the park for me, because like the situation that I went through, like I had to deal with Katrina, I had to deal with I had to deal with losing a scholarship. I dealt with almost losing my my freedom. I dealt with almost losing my my actual high school graduation. Like, it was a whole lot of things that just played it. Like, when you legit have the world against you and you feel like you have nobody that's supporting you on any scale, that will put you in a very, very dark place. And that's why I'm all about like motivating people. Like no matter how big or how small your goals is, it's always good to motivate people. Always let them know that they do have some type of cushion. I don't care how big or how small that cushion of support is. You could be the defining moment between somebody's make or break point. And I try to preach that continuously. That's why even in my child and my nieces and my nephews, I try to instill that. Even other people's kids, I try to instill the small ounce of greatness that they so desperately need to have that need to feel. And like, especially the place where I came from, man. Like I'm gonna just be real with y'all. During that whole time back in 2005, when you legit have nothing to come home or to go back to, like that really will put you in a very, very dark place. And I'm just being all the way real about that. But like I said, I try my best to invoke positivity on this channel, invoke peace, invoke all kind, like anything that's positive that I can invoke. And like I said, I'm not one of those people that shy away from the negativity, because that's a part of life too. You can't have a positive without having a negative. And like just ignoring one will never, like you can't, it's not realistic in most parts. But from what I'm trying to say is, like, this whole excuse me, this whole YouTube thing is just, like I said, it's therapy for a lot of people. It's real life, unadulterated, unsolicited. This is a journal for us. This is something to make a archive of what is going on in our lives, or what is going on at this time and moment that we're probably pressing this record button. And like I said, man, like, you've had to have been through something to know what somebody else is going through sometimes. And like for me, for the most part, like I said, I try not to never look at my situation worse than the next person's. And like I said, now that I'm a dad, I have to be always consciously aware of the things that I'm doing, or the mental state that I'm in, or anything for that matter. Even, hell, you see what this shirt says? It says, keep calm, let Joanne handle it. I had to, at one point, I didn't feel like that. It took me a long time to get to that place too. But, like, as far as the shoe is concerned, like I said, and I've even been in a relationship where someone felt like this was just stupid. Like I tell people, don't never let nobody dictate your happiness, or don't never let nobody dictate what brings you joy. Like, if that person's not bringing you joy, then that's something wrong with that person. I tell people all the time, never look for somebody to make you happy. But if they're not bringing you joy, you're not enjoying your time with them, then you know what, they're not meant to be there. Everybody's not meant to be in your life forever, man. Everybody has a season. Some seasons are longer than others. And sometimes you just have to part to know when, like, you have to part to know if you really love them and need them. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get this video out here. But I'm definitely gonna have more videos for y'all coming in the next day. I'll probably do a double upload, I don't know. But as always, I deeply appreciate y'all. If y'all see me in this t-shirt again, that means I did a double upload. As always, stay true, stay fly, stay blessed, and I deeply appreciate y'all. And I'm JC Baby, and I am out. You dig? And I deeply appreciate y'all.